Hey, what's up guys? Steve here. And today is actually my 1-year anniversary since I uploaded my first video to this channel on April 1st of 2021, and what a journey it has been. With that said, I decided to take my most popular video, this top 10 most valuable 1990 NBA Hoops basketball video, and relaunch a new top 20 list for the set. With the original video gaining over 70,000 views and over 600 subscribers, I hope everyone enjoys today's new top 20 most valuable 1990 NBA Hoops basketball card list. And kicking today's list off at number 20 is this Hakeem Olajuwon, card number 127. While I love including raw card sales, which I've been doing more lately, please keep in mind you guys will see why it's not really worth it in some of these peak junk wax era videos. You can currently pick up a copy of this card for less than 50 cents on ComC. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is $11.34, while the last auction sale of a PSA 10 sold for $46 back in April of 2021. And the record sale of this card comes back in March of 2021, selling for $75.33. Graded 81 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 14 in a PSA 10 and 22 in a PSA 9. We get our only coach card to make today's list at number 19 with this Phil Jackson, card number 308. The lowest asking price on ComC is currently 35 cents. You could pick up a PSA 9 of this card for around $10, while the last PSA 10 sold for $37 at auction back in October of 2021. And the record sale of this card comes back in March of 2021, selling for $77 even. Graded 193 times, this Phil Jackson is a pop of 42 in a PSA 10 compared to 102 in a PSA 9. Coming in at number 18 is this Reggie Miller, card number 135. Another card you could pick up on ComC for less than 50 cents. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is $11.50, while a PSA 10 currently sells for about $60 on average. And the record sale of this card comes back in August of 2021, selling for $80 even. Graded 79 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 25 in a PSA 10 and 32 in a PSA 9. Up next at number 17 is this Magic Johnson All-Star, card number 18. Taking a quick look at the lowest asking prices on ComC, the average sale price of a PSA 9 comes in rather low at $9.03, but a PSA 10 currently sells for $74.83 on average. And the record sale of this card also comes back in August of 2021, selling for $84 even. Graded 207 times by PSA, this Magic is a pop of 43 in a PSA 10 and 85 in a PSA 9. Hakeem Olajuwon makes another appearance at number 16, this time with his All-Star card, card number 23. Taking a quick look at raw prices, a PSA 9 of this card will set you back around $15, while a PSA 10 sells for $57.05 on average. And the record sale of this card comes back in June of 2021, selling for $86. Graded 58 times by PSA, this Houston Rockets legend is a pop of 26 in a PSA 10 and 19 in a PSA 9. Coming in at number 15 is the Scottie Pippen All-Star, card number 9. The lowest asking price on ComC for this card is 35 cents. A PSA 9 of this card will cost you less than $15 compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of around $40. And the record sale of this card comes back in February of 2021, selling for $92 even. Graded 152 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 24 in a PSA 10 compared to 76 in a PSA 9. Make that back-to-back appearances for Scottie Pippen at number 14 with his base card, card number 69. Another card you can pick up on ComC for less than 50 cents. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is around $10, while a PSA 10 sells for $63.90 on average. And the record sale of this card comes back in February of 2021, selling for $107.83. Graded close to 300 times by PSA, this card is a pop of only 26 in a PSA 10 compared to 112 in a PSA 9. Up next at number 13 is this Isaiah Thomas, card number 111. With the same lowest asking sell price on COMC as our previous card, the last PSA 9 of this card sold for $35.99 as a buy it now. And the last PSA 10 sold at auction for $94.49 back in August of 2021. And the record sale of this card also comes back in February of 2021, selling for $108.41. Graded 45 times by PSA, this Isaiah Thomas has an identical population of 15 in a PSA 10 and 15 in a PSA 9. We get our first rookie card at number 12 with this Tim Hardaway, card number 113. A PSA 9 of this card only averages $8.55, compared to the last PSA 10 auction sale of $119.50 back in April of 2021. And the record sale of this rookie also comes back in February of 2021, selling for $132.08. Graded 411 times by PSA, this Hardaway rookie is a pop of 57 in a PSA 10 and 166 in a PSA 9. Michael Jordan makes his first of a handful of appearances on today's list at number 11, with his Michael Jordan's Playground, card number 382. You can pick up this card on COMC for less than 75 cents. A PSA 9 will set you back around $15, while a PSA 10 sells for about $90 on average. And the record sale of this card comes back in June of 2021, selling for a penny short of $140. Graded 678 times by PSA, this Series 2 Jordan is a pop of 162 in a PSA 10 and 290 in a PSA 9. We get our second rookie card to kick off the top 10 with this Gary Payton lottery pick, card number 391. A raw copy of this rookie will set you back less than $1 on COMC. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is roughly $15, compared to a PSA 10 that sells for $75.22 on average. And the record sale of this card comes back in February of 2021, selling for $171.50. Graded over 1,300 times by PSA, this Gary Payton is a pop of 334 in a PSA 10, compared to 612 in a PSA 9. We get back-to-back Supersonic rookies at number 9 with this Shawn Kemp, card number 279. You can pick up a raw copy of this rookie for less than 50 cents on COMC. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is $11.47, compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of $56.82. And the record sale of this card comes back in February of 2021, also selling for $171.50. Graded 1,241 times by PSA, this Shawn Kemp is a pop of 242 in a PSA 10 and 501 in a PSA 9. Up next at number 8 is this Magic Johnson, card number 157. A PSA 9 of this card will set you back around $12, while a PSA 10 sells for around $60. And the record sale of this card comes back in June of 2021, selling for $172.50. Graded 534 times by PSA, this Magic is a pop of 73 in a PSA 10 and 196 in a PSA 9. We get dual Hall of Famers and NBA legends at number 7 with the Super Streaks featuring Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, card number 385. While you can pick up a raw copy of this card for less than $1 on COMC, the average sale price of a PSA 9 is $14.38, compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of $105.94. And the record sale of this Series 2 Hoops card comes back in July of 2021, selling for $210.88. Graded 603 times, this card is a pop of 198 in a PSA 10 and 217 in a PSA 9. Larry Bird makes his first appearance on today's list at number 6 with his base card, card number 39. A PSA 9 of this card sells for $14.71 on average, compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of $51.04. And the record sale of this card comes back in February of 2021, selling for $210.88. Graded 603 times by PSA, this D Reynolds is a pop of 198 in a PSA 10 and 217 in a PSA 9. Michael Jordan kicks off the top 5 with his All-Star card, card number 5. The lowest asking price for this card on ComC is $1.75, while a PSA 9 will set you back around $25, and a PSA 10 will cost you around $160. And the record sale of this Jordan comes back in February of 2021, selling for $371.55. Graded close to 4,000 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 199 in a PSA 10, 474 in a PSA 9, and even 277 in a PSA 8. The top 5 is going to be Michael Jordan heavy, as we get this Bulls team checklist, card number 358 and number 4. Selling for around $1.50 on ComC, the average sale price of a PSA 9 is $25.11, compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of $117.28. And the record sale of this card comes back in February of 2021, selling for $416. Graded 1,138 times by PSA, this Bulls checklist is a pop of 199 in a PSA 10 and 474 in a PSA 9. Up next at number 3 is this Mark Jackson, card number 205. ComC prices for this card start at a little over $2. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is $25.08, compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of $432.11. And the record sale of this card comes back in June of 2019, selling for $632 even. I've been thinking about doing a video on this card, as this Mark Jackson is probably the most pop-controlled card of this set from PSA. A PSA 10 is a pop of 71, compared to 720 in a PSA 9, and even 660 in a PSA 8. Coming in at number 2 is this Michael Jordan, card number 65. Taking a quick look at asking prices on ComC, you could pick up a PSA 9 of this Jordan for around $25, while a PSA 10 will set you back around $350 on average. And the record sale of this card comes back in January of 2021, selling for $1,210. Graded over 7,000 times by PSA, this Jordan is a pop of 468 in a PSA 10, compared to 2,500 in a PSA 9, and even 2,798 in a PSA 8. Topping off today's list at number 1 is this Sam Vincent, card number 223. Graded close to 1,400 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 283 in a PSA 10 and 616 in a PSA 9. With the highest asking prices on today's list for an ungraded copy, while averaging 7.8 points per game over his career, it only takes one glance to see who is driving up the price of this card. The average sale price of a PSA 9 is $27.85, compared to a PSA 10 average sale price of $183.03. And the record sale of this card also comes at the peak of the market in February of 2021, selling for $1,307 even. Thanks again for all the continued support on the channel through my first year here on YouTube. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.